back to another episode of The Fuzzy Pod. Here in The Fuzzy Pod, we love to talk about all the things that give us those warm, fuzzy feelings, which includes a lot of nostalgia from the late 90s and the early 2000s.
I told you.
Maddie's dog is crying and upset because we currently have two Build-A-Bears sitting in our lap because that's what we're going to be talking about today. And he's jealous. He's actually jealous. I think he thinks it's another dog and that you're replacing him.
Come on.
All right, he's going to sit in Maddie's lap. A real-life Build-A-Bear.
My real-life Build-A-Bear.
That's so funny. He legitimately was jealous of this. He's like, he's about to fight with this bear.
I can't tell if he's jealous of the bear or like thinks it's a toy that he can't have.
I think he's obsessed with him, actually.
Wow. A true love story.
Look at him. He's
kissing it.
Aww. Oh my gosh. This is why you have to watch over on YouTube.
Yeah, if you're only listening to audio, you're really missing out here.
You're missing on some cuteness. Oh, now he's giving you some kisses.
Thank you, bud. All right.
Today,
all right, let's everyone settle in.
Yeah, are we all settled? Because I'm so excited to talk about today's episode. Madison did... I said your government name.
Yeah, you said my Christian name. Which actually, like, you calling me Madison doesn't faze me.
No, but on the podcast specifically, I feel like you're Maddie, you know?
Yeah, it's my character.
It's your character.
Like Chapel,
and me saying, me saying Madison instead of just Maddie. But you're right, like,
whoa. I just put my hand in his underwear on accident.
Oh my gosh, we have so much to talk about.
Sorry.
She's referring to the bear, by the way, who has underwear on. Oh my gosh, there's so much to get into today, but Build-A-Bear is the topic of the day. Maddie did so much research for this episode, so hats off to you.
Thank you. I am very passionate about this topic. No, I'm just kidding. I just for once actually had time to prepare for an episode, and I was like, you know what? It's time I pull my weight.
She was like, I'm gonna do a little deep dive for us today on all things Build-A-Bear.
I feel like our balance, our chakras are unaligned.
As far as like fuzzy responsibilities.
Yeah, because I feel like I used to be like the researcher and would usually like do a lot of like the legwork for the prep.
Yeah.
You would too, but like I feel like I used to like because I'm
on
our
our
type
deep dive
A.
episodes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I would just like do all that and then you're our editor.
Yeah.
But lately I've just been,
She's
but
been
now
busy.
I had time.
She's been busy.
Yo, I'm gonna have a weekend off in 2 weeks.
You're not gonna know what
am I
to do
gonna
with yourself.
do? I'm gonna do a house project.
She said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give myself more work.
But it's something I want to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my life update.
I didn't really have a life update from last
Not that anyone
week,
asked.
but I think my life update should be after this episode. I think I'm going to be inspired to go back to a Build-A-Bear and build myself a stuffed animal.
No, because we're going to do a fuzzy pod Build-A-Bear that lives in the studio.
We should have a little studio bear. Wait, I love this idea.
Yeah, I already decided.
Okay, no, this is great. Yeah. We should each make one for the Patreon episodes to have as like a little buddy.
Yeah, I feel like
also
I was thinking that we could make like a Patreon video about it.
Yes.
About our process. So after we talk about this, then you can head over to the Patreon at some point in the near future for additional content.
6 months from now.
6 months from now. No. My weekend off.
Your weekend off. Oh, gosh. Shall we go ahead and get into everything Build-A-Bear?
Yes, we should. Do you want to introduce your Build-A-Bear? Do you know that one's name? I'm so sad. I meant to bring my own Build-A-Bears to the studio today, and I didn't. So I'm borrowing one of Megan's.
We have two Build-A-Bears. These are honestly Build-A-Bears that we got later. These are like some of like the newer
I have
bears.
like my first ever Build-A-Bear still. And I have Ted's too.
Is it the brown bear?
Yeah, it's the brown one. Yeah.
That is one of my favorite Build-A-Bears. The quality of him.
Yeah.
When I was doing like some minimal research for this episode, because again, you did the bulk. Just want to make sure I shout you out there because thank you. I came across pictures of that bear that someone had shared, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is just the perfect bear. And I was like, I think Maddie has that bear still too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it has a textured nose, and just the fur quality. Because these are, I'm not saying Build-A-Bear quality has completely gone downhill, but this
It's just like a different style of bear.
different style, the way they started to do their eyes are a little different on some of them. These still have the beaded eyes.
What do they do now?
I think they do a mix. I feel like I've seen some,
Like stitched
honestly,
ones?
mostly for the, we'll get into like their like collector item ones where maybe they're doing big IP, like a movie or something,
Yeah.
and they'll give them like stitched eyes.
Yeah.
I've seen, but it's definitely more of a mix now. I don't think that I saw like the stitched eyes quite as often. Is that what you would call them?
Yeah, like almost like embroidered. Like,
Yes.
yeah. But these have like the like plastic eyes, like
Yes.
they've got life to them, shall I say.
I
They have
want.
pupils.
I wish that these had like a year on them, you know, on the tags or something.
I have to pull down his
But
undies to check.
I would say that he is probably like a 2010 or 2011
Spread 'em.
bear. Oh my gosh.
It says 0912. Do you think that means anything?
I said 2012 or 2011? I think
You
that's
said
where he's
2010,
from. That was one
you
of,
said 2010.
who knows what I said, 2010s. That is one of the last Build-A-Bears I ever made, besides KK Slider. Anyways, quick description for audio listeners. I have a little pink bear in my hand. He's got kind of like almost like a swirly like texture to his fur. I do not remember their name. But the one in Maddie's hands, she's got like, how would you describe him? He's got like little stitched paws. He's like
He's like tricolored.
tricolored bear. He's got like
Confetti,
brown,
if you will.
orange, white fur. He's really cute actually.
He's got a tag on him.
Oh gosh, his tag never came off.
He's got a piercing. He's edgy.
And
He's also only wearing underwear. Your bear that you're holding is completely in the buff.
I'm
But
sorry,
for
I
some
don't have
reason,
clothes
this
for them.
feels more like he's
Naked.
naked.
Yes.
Because it's like, oh, he tried enough to put on some camo underwear.
But he has no other clothes.
America, USA. Give more money to the military.
Unfortunately, I do remember the name of the bear in Madison's hand, and his name is Harrison Balls. Harrison Balls. And they let me print that on his birth certificate.
Yeah, they really, I mean, what are they going to do? Be like, no?
Especially because Build-A-Bear has been a little edgy these days, which we'll get into. They have a adult collection, if you will. All right, so we have a note on the dock that we will just be referring to the stuffed animals as all bears after we state the different kinds, just for ease and flow. So obviously, Build-A-Bear, for
those who don't know.
they don't know, they make more than just bears.
Yeah.
Bunnies, frogs, everything in between.
Everything in betwixt.
We'll just be referring to everything
Reindeers.
as a bear. So if you hear like us talking about the bears, maybe it's not always a bear.
It may not always be a bear, but that's okay.
So what is Build-A-Bear Workshop? Well, Maddie, it's where best friends are made.
That is their slogan. That is what they claim.
Build-A-Bear is an interactive experience wherein you get to create your very own customized stuffed animal.
So what does the process of building a bear look like? I feel like we need to go through it because it was the special thing about Build-A-Bear is it's not just, oh, mom took me to Toys R Us and bought me a stuffed animal.
Yes.
It's I am putting together, I am customizing, I am making my very own. Like no one else is going to have this bear.
No. This is my very own special bear.
I'm unique and I'm different.
And I'm playing
and
God.
I'm special and I'm playing God.
Because I get to give him life. Because they start out as a carcass.
So picture this. You walk in, you're 8 years old. You're at your friend Kelly's birthday party. And it's the best day of your life because you're finally going to get to go build a bear. You step in and you just see piles and piles of
buckets and buckets.
Buckets and buckets, if you will, of animal carcasses.
You do get to see a lot of examples of what they look like once they're finally stuffed, but you quite literally go through the little buckets and find your perfect little skin.
The hide.
It's like so graphic sounding.
You pick up the hide.
You pick up your favorite carcass, okay? From the teddy bears to the bunnies to the frogs, the list goes on like we mentioned. And they even do collaborations where you can get some of your favorite licensed characters. We're looking at you, Sanrio. Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty, you little slut.
Oh, I wanted the cinema roll so bad.
I have a Sanrio one.
Which one?
Do you want my anecdote now? I'll give it quick.
Okay.
I have Choco Cat.
Oh, that's such a good one.
And me and my bestie, before we like our family moved to California from Texas, we went to Build-A-Bear together, and we built like Sanrio characters, and then we put little custom messages in them for each other.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, pretty cute.
Which that's a part of it, because after you take your animal skin to get stuff with fluff, you get to pick out their very own heart and perform the heart ceremony. Maddie, what's the heart ceremony?
The heart ceremony, to sum it all up, is you putting all your hopes, dreams, and wishes onto this bear, much like all our parents have done to us. And it's just really continuing the generational traumas of our past. But no.
It's actually much more wholesome than that.
It's cute. It's from my understanding, they can all be a little bit different, but it includes picking out, it's like a little like silk, tiny little heart, and there's like different style ones.
Yeah.
You pick out your favorite one, and whoever is like doing the
heart
stuffing,
ceremony and the stuffing,
does the heart ceremony. And they'll just kind of go through like, okay, now put the heart in your hand so you can warm it up so he has a warm heart. Put it to your head so that he has like, he's nice and smart.
They sometimes have you jump to like give it life, I guess,
like jump 3 times, turn around twice.
Give it a little kiss.
Give it a kiss, and off you go.
And then into his body he goes. It actually is like so sweet and wholesome, and especially when you're a kid, there's almost this magic in it. Like you are seeing quite literally this bear come to life.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's.
I say quite literally. It's going to start talking to you. You're going to have conversations with it. But
while it's getting stuffed, you have some additional. We're all about the add-ons,
Yeah,
it's a business after all.
Yeah.
You can add like a scent to your bear.
Mm-hmm.
And I have one that still smells good. It smells like blueberries.
I love that.
And then you can also add like a little customized message where you can like, they have like pre-recorded ones where you can like press, the paw or the foot, and it'll be like, I love you or whatever. Like you can listen to all the sounds.
And they also have some song options.
They have song options, or you can do like your own recorded message like I was mentioning. So yeah, there's lots of fun little moments when you're in that beginning process of making your best friend. Now that the heart's beating.
And he's alive.
He's filthy, okay? Just remember, he was like laying in
a bucket of
others, You know what I mean? So he needs to be bathed. And from my understanding, they don't do this anymore, but we're speaking from our experience from our childhood about what this process looked like. So you would take them over to a little bath section. You would brush them out. They had a fake little sink or shower. It was like a bathtub.
It would blow air on them, which honestly kind of was nice because it got some of that loose fur out.
Yeah.
Like
seriously, it actually
was
did
a helpful
It did something.
Tool.
Yeah.
They had a little mirror, I think, so they could check themselves out afterwards. But more importantly, once they were all cleaned up, okay, and all showered, it was time to figure out a new fit for them.
What's the fit?
And Build-A-Bear has the cutest clothes.
They really do. They really popped off.
It's been a while since I've stepped into a Build-A-Bear. I don't know. I've seen mixed kind of thoughts and reviews about maybe the clothing quality has gone down just a little bit. But I mean back in our day. Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like that's kind of across the board, honestly. Yeah. It's not just a Build-A-Bear specific thing.
Back in my day, you could get literally a Coke for a nickel and things didn't kill you.
Yeah, and toys were just made with a little more thoughtfulness, it felt like.
Yeah.
All around, and all the details that went along with it. But, I mean, your bear can not only have a cute little skirt and top, it could even have a wig.
Wig? Sunglasses?
Shoes.
Sneakers?
Underwear! Which is all this guy has left.
If you didn't put underwear on your Build-A-Bear,
they were just out here with no underwear.
Yeah,
no
you're free balling it?
Yeah, no chones.
That's wild.
Where's their chones?
Yeah, I know it's $5 for the underwear, but like your Build-A-Bear is worth it.
Yeah. Especially as a kid, you're like putting it together. You're like, well, he needs these.
Yeah, they need the underwear like
He can't
that.
just be
Like
going-
I wear underwear.
Yeah.
Like it's weird if he's not wearing underwear.
They really were out here like
Nickel and diming us.
nickel and diming us.
How
But
much were the clothes in your memory?
they were pretty expensive because I think
Certain items were.
some. I was gonna say this till we started to talk about our specific memories, but
Just mix
Let's
it
get
in.
into
Let's
it.
just mix it in.
they used to do, and maybe they still do, because again, it's been a while, but collabs with
Yes.
one of my favorite brands growing up, Limited 2. They would make exact mini replicas of pieces sold at Limited 2 so that you could match your Build-A-Bear. Life does not get better than this. And I for sure had a mini skirt for my bear that was Limited 2. It was like a little denim flare skirt. And a few years back, I was at Target and they had a skirt that looked just like it. And I did buy it just for like the feels. And Maddie immediately clocked it and was like, Build-A-Bear
okay,
skirt.
here's the thing.
You said,
Truth. The truth comes out because you actually spotted one at Aritzia
originally,
originally, and it was probably like
a good
it's
$1 dollars.
it's Aritzia, so it's
Yeah,
probably like
yeah.
$90, and I was like, "You're gonna wear that twice,"
Yeah. And I did. My Target one, I only wore a couple times.
because I was like, Megan, that is the skirt that our Build-A-Bears had, like 110%.
That is a
that is
Build-A-Bear
the same.
skirt.
That is a Build-A-Bear
And the one at
skirt.
Aritzia probably low-key was the size of a Build-A-Bear.
Yeah, it
skirt.
was also very mini.
Yeah, it was
Which, like,
micro.
I'm-
It was
no,
like a
I'm not
micro
judging.
skirt. No.
I'm not judging anyone.
I'm just over
I just knew
27.
I just knew you wouldn't wear it.
I'm 29 years old. I was kidding.
I mean, you're 25. You could wear it.
I'm 24. What do you
What do you mean?
Oh my gosh. It was just like very micro. And the other one was like kind of hit like a little. It was just
Which-
more
Not to go on a tangent,
for my comfort level.
but like, how
all
are
about what you feel
people out
good.
here walking around in micro skirts?
My only assumption is either you're okay with your cheeks hanging out or your cheeks are higher than mine are currently.
Yeah, I don't think I could.
It sits higher.
I just don't think I could ever do anything to make my cheeks higher, unless I like taped them up.
Be 22. I don't know.
Unless they have no cheeks,
Or no cheeks. That's the third option.
minimal cheekage. I feel like my nalgas are gonna be out in any mini skirt I wear.
Yeah. I do feel that. Like the cheeks are just gonna be blowing in the wind. My laugh just now was so unhinged.
Okay, sorry for that rant.
Back to the Bears.
back to
They
the
got their
Bears.
fits. That was probably the highlight of my childhood.
They're looking fly.
was matching. They look so fresh.
The accessories.
fits.
I just love the fact that they had wigs.
Yes.
Like
Those came later,
that's so funny.
but
That's so funny.
how do we never make a bear
Or-
with a wig?
Or like the Christmas fits. Like they would like have like the season, like with the seasons. You know what I
Very
mean?
intricate. And they would do Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
I mean, they thought of everything. But we have one last piece to the puzzle, and that's this bear needs a name, and he needs to be officially adopted.
Yeah. You can't just like leave the store with him.
So once you give them the best fit around, you have to come up with their name, and it'll literally print a little birth certificate with their name, the date they were born, and who
Your name.
they are going home with. They would
And you're a parent.
And you're a parent now. So just imagine me. At one point, I was, going there for the first time, maybe around 6, 7 years old, taking home a little bunny named Lola. And then fast forward, Build-A-Bear's still a part of my life because I will always love stuffed animals. And I'm in high school and I have Mr. Harrison Balls over here. And I still can't believe they let me print that. That's actually wild.
Hey, that's because it was like teenagers working there.
That's true. They were probably like, hee 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 hee.
Do you remember we kind of had like a low key tradition? We didn't do it every year, but we would go during Christmas time.
Yes. I think it went on for maybe about 3 Christmases or so. 3 or
Because they
4.
started releasing like Christmas specific
Yes.
plushes.
Let's go ahead and talk about Collect-A-Bears, the name given to the limited edition bears that Build-A-Bear
Yes.
releases each year, which includes a lot of the
Sorry.
holiday releases. You good? You choking on fur? It's the fuzz from Harrison Balls.
No, I actually was gonna interrupt you because we did not talk about the cutest part of this process is whenever you go home and they put them in a little box that's a miniature house. And it's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
It was also the biggest flex to walk around with your Build-A-Bear house around the mall.
Yeah. Yeah.
In 4th or 5th grade,
oh, yeah.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah. I'm rich. I'm just kidding.
I got my Build-A-Bear. Dude, speaking of rich, the birthday parties there.
Yeah. How much do you think that cost?
I don't know. Because obviously you had only like specific base bears that you could like choose from, you know?
Yeah.
They weren't like, you weren't doing the limited edition ones at that price point.
Yeah.
Because there's some kind of package. Anyways, I don't know.
Oh my God,
you went to one of those.
Ted's 30th?
At Build-A-Bear?
At Build-A-Bear?
We all build Pokemon? That would be so fun. Wait.
That'd be more for me than him.
Yeah. She's like planning like her birthday dreams for his birthday because it's sooner.
I could see him having fun with that though because it's like if all the friends are there. You know what I mean? That's what it's about.
And we go get pizza afterwards.
Yeah, we go
pizza
get
party.
Pizza party, yeah.
Pizza party and Build-A-Bear. I mean, no.
That's kind of fire.
Everyone takes home a Pokemon.
That's kind of cool.
We don't have to do like an official like thing. We're not like, we'll just take a group in there, you know?
No, I want them to shut the store down for me. All right, sorry.
But the little house was so cute. It even just made like a fun toy as a kid. Like,
oh my God, I loved it.
I used it for like my Barbies and stuff.
Yeah,
for a little
bit.
We
used it all the time, like for playing all the time.
So cute.
Also, my anecdote on that is when I got my sweet, sweet pup Chloe that I had until she was 18 years old. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Chloe.
Mom and Dad gave her to me for Christmas, and like right before they brought her out, they put her in a little Build-A-Bear box, and I was like,
my Build-A-Bear's alive? It actually worked?
It worked. My wish came true.
You open it. Puppy, so sweet. She was so tiny.
Yeah, she was very tiny.
She fit so perfectly in a little Build-A-Bear
box.
There's
holes in those boxes, by the way.
yeah.
They have windows and doors.
Yeah. They have cutouts if you're not familiar.
Okay. Also about the cutouts, because like, you know how you could like cut out the door? Like the door was like
it could open.
Perforated, so you could open it. But it was not big enough for the bear to fit in and out of there. Like it was so small.
She said, this isn't realistic. I think it was more for the aesthetic.
It wasn't to scale.
No. She's like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
They still do the boxes, right? When you got your KK slider.
Yeah.
You got a box?
They did. I think maybe. Oh, actually. Mine just might have been in a bag. I can't remember. It could have been a situation too where they offered one or something, and I was like, I'm okay, because what am I? Is just gonna go home and tear it down at that point. She's looking at me very disappointed. What would I do with it?
I'm gonna be like, make a bed for Poppy.
It's small. It's so small.
Kirby would probably love it, honestly.
He loves to sleep in small spaces.
Yeah.
I have multiple beds for the dogs, and our biggest dog, Kirby, will lay on the smallest one always. And just
that, or he lays in like the
toy
basket, and that's not very big.
I'm like, there's a bed next to you. He's like, no, I'm good here. We forgot to mention too that the beginnings of Build-A-Bear, it started in 1997, so two great things were born that year. Your co-host Maddie and Build-A-Bear Workshop, and it was founded by a woman named Maxine Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't learn too much about her, but seems like she was a visionary.
Yeah, she was formerly the CEO of before that Payless
Love
for a while, and then kind of retired from that and was like, we need to be doing this. Apparently there was a company in San Francisco called, I want to say Classic Brown Bear or Brown Bear,
something along
those lines. They don't exist anymore, but it was the same concept.
Okay, tell me why. 9 times out of 10 with these really successful toys or companies, something like it existed before that didn't quite take off.
Yeah,
like the Snuggie.
The Snuggie,
that was a blanket before.
Barbie
was off of inspired from a German doll.
Yeah,
it was maybe catered more towards adults, but still.
Yeah,
that whole concept and idea came from somewhere else. There's been a few others like that where I'm just like, is it just who has more money to market it better?
I don't know. Because there is something to be said about you can have a great idea, But if you don't know how to market it,
Yeah, you call
and
it the
sell
Slanket
it,
instead of the Snuggie, which just sounds a lot better.
yeah, like if you don't, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like you cannot be successful even though it's the same idea.
I also don't know how copyright works on concepts like stores where it's experiences versus like the Snuggie Slanket situation. Like it feels
Yeah,
like
it's
that
not
could have
like
been patented.
it's not like a proprietary, like, I don't know.
Yeah, like how do you say like I'm the only like bear company to like
Yeah, like you
do
can't.
this? Yeah, like
Yeah,
build your own bear.
yeah, you can't.
Yeah, I don't know the legality in that, but still a bummer.
Now I need to like, was it classic brown bear, brown bear?
Something I found really interesting when I was looking up the collected bears or like the limited edition releases over the years, I had luck finding most of those because a lot of those are tied to movies, big IPs like Sanrio and Disney or like holiday specific ones. But there is no official archive that I could find from the Build-A-Bear company themselves of what's been released over the years. Only what fans have like pieced together over the years. And there was like a Google Drive going around where people could continue to add theirs. But I just thought that was
Archives.
amazing that the fans of Build-A-Bear that have grown up with it over the years are the ones like putting the pieces together to create these archives
Yeah,
that don't exist
yeah,
publicly, at least.
yeah.
And
It's pretty
people were
wild,
like
yeah.
making posts on Reddit being like, help, I got this bear like in 98. I just really want to know like
What
what it is, like who it is. Like let me
Yeah.
who has info. And people are all like helping each other out. And it's just so cool that there are like so many like fandoms. I guess you could refer to it as that at this
Yeah.
point. Because people are also trying to like collect and hunt down like ones that they
Certain
don't
ones,
have.
yeah.
And that they are still so alive and active. And I think having like a core fan base like that with adult money to spend, I just I don't see a world where Build-A-Bear is going to slow down at any point.
I feel
But
like they need to figure out how to capitalize on it more,
yes,
which they're trying.
they're trying because they have
Um,
some, things that they're trying to do to reach the adult
older,
market.
yeah. Before we move on though to that, I just wanted to correct myself. It was called the Basic Brown Bear Factory,
Okay.
based in San Francisco.
This was the one that Build-A-Bear was based
This
off.
was the original
yeah.
make your own stuffed animals. It was owned by Eric and Marilee Woods. And allegedly, apparently, they claimed that in 1996, Maxine Clark came to them to try to negotiate like kind of basically a buyout situation to be like, hey, I love this concept. I want to take it nationwide because they were only
in San
the one
Francisco.
location.
Yeah.
And
what'd they say?
Apparently they had signed like a confidentiality agreement, and then she just kind of went off and did her own thing and made Build-A-Bear. So,
Because at first
our
you're like,
matriarch might be a snake. Like she might be a little sneaky, according
also
to
like,
them.
how do you become like a CEO of a company if you don't have a little bit of like
Yeah,
that
honestly,
kind of
like,
snake
dog eat dog,
Yeah,
bear
yeah.
eat bear, you know? Yeah.
You have to have some snaky qualities.
I feel like it's always going to be just like, not hearsay, but like, I'm sure there's two sides to the story. But it's also like interesting because it's like, if you knew you didn't want to take your company, nationwide and try to grow it, like they should have just made a deal with her where,
You can license this and take it everywhere. Yeah. We'll like be part
But it seems like
owners.
it was just kind of like a mom and pop type situation.
Oh, the mom and pop always getting screwed over, the mom and pop shops. It's so frustrating, and I feel like you hear it like time and time again.
Yeah, anyways. So, the bear cave.
The Bear Cave. Are we going into it? Let's do this. They are very aware that their market has grown up with them. We grew up loving Build-A-Bears, and a lot of us still very much enjoy a stuffed animal and the comfort of one and just the collecting of them as well. There's so much that goes along with a stuffed animal that, I don't know, brings joy. So they are finding new ways to bring joy to the 18 and over crowd with their adults only section.
21 and up.
Sorry, is it
Or
21?
18?
Maybe it's
Maybe
18
it's
and up.
18.
The after hours, also known as the Bear Cave, it's kind of seems to be like a mix. I think the website's called the Bear Cave, but the bears are referred to as their after hour bears. And y'all,
The ads?
you are not ready. If you have not seen an ad,
Okay, we need to
For the Bear
rewind a little
Cave.
bit because I've started seeing ads recently and I feel like people are talking about it. But maybe like, how long is it? I don't even know how long it's been around, but I want to say at least, we were definitely doing the podcast. So it's at least been a year, maybe closer to 2 years, that I had sent you
yes,
a link
yes.
that I was like,
Hold up.
hang on, does anyone know about this?
Because if not, we need to all be talking about the Bear Cave.
We do. It's spicy. It's saucy. She's kinky.
Yes, she's all of those. It is a way for them to, with a little wink, reach their adult audiences and have, I don't know, some humor in there. I personally,
I lost my second Build-A-Bear.
Loki left. I have seen comments on the ads being like, what is this? This is so gross. Like, blah, blah, blah.
Gross. It's
No,
just funny.
that's what, oh yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to.
Sorry.
No, exactly. Kind of the way you responded is kind of how I feel. I just don't think people realize that these are very targeted towards adults. The website even itself is like separate from the rest of like the main Build-A-Bear website. And
And
honestly,
you're
like
supposed to like put in your date of birth or something. Like it literally
Yes.
says like,
it's behind like it's one of the like it's the same as like if a kid tried to like get to like an alcohol website. They still have to like it's not like the greatest security
System, yeah.
measure, but like that's honestly on the parents, you know?
yeah.
And so many people being like, you like Build-A-Bear, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. This is hilarious. Because at the end of the day, they're still just like stuffed bears. And honestly, what we're saying probably makes it sound so much worse than it is.
It's really not that bad.
So let's go ahead and get into some examples of what you could find on the Bear Cave if you have never seen an ad for these before. Some highlights include a lot of t-shirts or clothing items for the bears.
With funny sayings.
with
Yeah.
very funny sayings. You might find a shirt that says, actually you will find a shirt that says Zaddy, Zaddy. Many booze-related shirts, including It's Wine O'Clock
Wine
Somewhere.
o'clock somewhere, yeah.
Take Me to Your Leader was one of my personal favorites with an alien on it, and he had
Love
a big
that.
leader. And you might find something a little more edgy for the holidays with some, presents on the shirt. And then above that, it says, nice package.
Yeah.
There's also a Hugh Hefner-esque robe, which I was like, wait, I need this with a little tiny cigar.
You can also get little cocktails or wine glasses.
Yes!
Little
they
plushie
have so
that will go on the arm.
many
of
various adult
bear.
beverages that your bear can hold.
a seltzer. A white paw.
A white paw. So good. They also have a shirt that says looking like a snack. And I saw like a little sparkly bralette. So that's about as like edgy as it gets.
Yeah.
Like the nice package is probably like one of the edgier ones I saw. And it's not even that bad. It's just a hilarious gift, honestly.
Yeah.
I personally think if someone gave me that, I think that's funny. Especially like, I think a lot of people that were like upset, like just need to take a step back for a second and realize like this is geared towards adults and their ads at least should be like looking at demographics and it's targeting you specifically because you are an adult who
You
probably
specifically
grew up
who
with Build-A-Bear.
has a kink for Build-A-Bear.
Yeah. If you're getting those, they know about your search history. I personally think that we need to get an After Dark bear. And if you have never seen the commercials for this, do yourself a favor. Google
Look it
one.
up.
Honestly, their marketing department is putting their everything into it. They're putting everything into it, and it's hilarious. And we're here for it.
And we love them for it.
They even have like a saucy little bunny named Paulette.
And you know what? They're just
so
they're
funny.
just giving the people what they want.
It's hilarious.
Like,
It's
Why are we getting
hilarious.
mad about this?
Because they definitely have something still aimed towards kids. And yeah, that's for the kids. And if the adults who grew up loving Build-A-Bear
Want to
want
have fun
something,
and think it's funny?
I don't think there's any harm in that.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Take me to the Bear Cave.
Meet me at the bear cave.
I think Build-A-Bear has always done a good job of trying to look for new ways to grow with their audience, keep up with the times. And another good example of that is when they did their online game, Build-A-Bearville. Do you remember this game?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I wrote it down.
It's so good.
I loved that game. Like, when I was, like, researching for this episode and, like, that came up and I was, like, looking at pictures from it, I was like, just all memories came flooding back of just, like, how much fun I had.
Creating your little bear who would ride around in a backpack with you as you explored Build-A-Bearville.
So cute.
I think there was, like, different tasks you could do. You got to online chat, which that was really big at the time. Being able to online chat with people.
That's crazy. It was the Wild West, honestly.
It really was. Like, I just assumed everyone on there was, like, our age.
And, like, the thing is for the most part, I actually do think it was very wholesome. I do think that there was not a lot of creeps utilizing that as a means.
No.
But then it did start happening.
And I think that's why probably a lot of those things got, shifted either to having, no free text.
Yeah.
And you just had to, like, what's it called? Not pre-recorded messages, but hello.
Like
messages you could choose from.
Yeah.
And
like a selection.
A selection of them.
Yeah.
Like being like, yes, all right, good game. Like, just very generic messaging versus, like, just having, like, an open free chat.
Or if you did have an open free chat, you have to, like,
censor a lot of words.
Person.
Yes. You had to be friends with them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It really was the Wild West. And I need to find out, because I did not look into this, if there is some community keeping Build-A-Bearville, like, alive.
Don't think so.
Because it wasn't as big as, like, a Club Penguin.
Or Toontown. I'm surprised Club Penguin has it come back?
I think it did come back, yeah. I think that another, like, group of fans brought it back.
Oh, yeah. Club Penguin rewritten.
Yeah. We have to play, right? We have to play.
I did not know this was a thing.
I loved.
Wait.
What?
Wait.
It's not real.
It's not real anymore.
What do you mean? It only lasted for so long?
Fudge!
Dang. It's too good to be true. There were so many good online games that just disappeared completely.
It discontinued in 2022.
Oh, that wasn't that.
That's what I'm saying.
Long ago.
It wasn't that long ago. That's why I'm saying
bring it back.
Apparently,
bring it back.
The effing mouse sent a cease and desist letter.
But why not to Toontown rewritten?
I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense. Don't let them know. Very interesting, because that's way more Disney branded than Club Penguin.
Wait a second. Maybe it wasn't. And let's see.
She's trying to fact check this.
I'm trying to fact check things.
Maybe the mouse didn't do anything.
In 2022, Disney requested the site's closure, and the staff complied. But then this says that the City of London police shut it down.
What?
And that feels official Discord server saying the game was shutting down effective immediately due to the full request by Disney. Okay, yeah.
Disney. So
the game was being How is Toontown still going? It was being investigated for copyright violations after the developers had granted the police control over the website. Who gave the Popo the password to the Club Penguin server?
Who snitched?
Who's a snitch?
I don't get that. That's
were
wild.
Were they doing something shady? Why were the cops involved?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Was this become like the black market?
3 suspects
People were like
to the game were arrested. On suspicion of distributing materials infringing copyright.
So how is Toontown? I'm so confused. You can go to jail for that?
You can get arrested for that?
Could you get arrested for playing? Or only distributing, I think. Imagine going to real life jail for Club Penguin.
They're like, what are you in for?
It's like, I brought back Club Penguin, man. I just needed to experience the pizza parlor again. I was trying to bring joy to people's lives.
I miss Club Penguin.
There has to be more.
There
has to be more to it.
Rewritten had over 11 million registered users. Dang.
That was huge. We got to look more into this later, but let's go ahead and wrap up our Build-A-Bear thoughts. So looking ahead at the future, a lot of Build-A-Bears are getting remodeled to have a much more minimalist look. They've gotten rid of their hospitals, the bath setup like we mentioned, and some locations have even just turned the storefront into a kiosk. But even with all the changes from Build-A-Bear, it's still expanding and continuing to have an active online presence. They're constantly rolling out limited editions or the Collect-A-Bears with huge IPs like we mentioned, Sanrio, Disney, more recently Sonic, which I thought was interesting that the Shadow the Hedgehog sold out so fast because I low-key wanted one, which is kind of funny
That's
because
shocking to you?
apparently, well, it's funny to me because I didn't know it was like a meme that the Latinas love Shadow,
Yeah.
and it's so true because I was like, wait, me? I want Shadow. Looked him up on eBay, $1,900,
Hell yeah.
and they'll probably never bring him back. There's no way. They're like, yeah, maybe. We'll see. We sold out. I'm like, you could print money.
Yeah, they'll probably bring him back.
We'll see. But I think that whole shift to a more minimalist look is something we're seeing a lot with like brands that used to be so bright and colorful and fun.
I mean, it's all like primary colors in there.
Yes. And I'm like, for a space that ultimately is geared towards kids and the people that want to hold on to like that nostalgia, why are you making this shift? Like even adults, I feel like are starting to add a little more pops of colors to their space. And we're kind of over like the grayscale, like spaces, the very,
Yeah.
very bare bones looking. And I don't know. It
Bare
seems like bare
bones.
bones. And there's literally, well, they don't have bones, but
Bare necessities.
I am hoping we see kind of the pendulum swing back, but
Hopefully.
we shall see. We shall see.
Probably not.
Well, the community is super dedicated, like I mentioned, and they're always waiting in anticipation for each new release. So I think with that, plus stuffed animals always being a comfort that's a part of everyone's life, young and old, Build-A-Bear has some real staying power.
Yeah, they ain't going anywhere, I don't think.
Mm-mm. But some shady past ever so slightly.
There's
but
always
what
a shade.
company
What
doesn't?
company amongst us has not been shady? And who amongst us has not bullied
Yeah.
once in our lives?
Oh my gosh. I do love a Build-A-Bear. I think I need to go build one. And I think the next one I would build, and that'll be my question that I'll leave you with too, Maddie. The next bear I want to build is a frog. The little green frog.
Why was I thinking the same thing?
So it's meant to be. We got to go build frogs.
What are the options right now? That's the question. I actually don't know what our options are, but I literally had a frog in my mind. You know that they sometimes have blind boxes where you can like pay like $25 or something, and then they'll send you a box of like
all the materials?
No, it'll be like a mystery box basically.
Okay. But the bear's already stuffed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you get like clothes and stuff like that.
What do you see?
The lamb.
The lamb, the Easter lamb. I wonder if that is a exclusive for the holidays as well.
Oh my god, this pig is
The
so
pig
cute.
is so cute. They have a Pokemon Whooper, right? Whooper. Is it Whop? I always want to call him Whopper.
I love Whoppers.
Oh my gosh,
Shop.
the frog?
Oh, they have a Tigger. Okay, what's the I want to see the ones that aren't stuffed. How do I do that?
Like the ones you can build. The bear builder,
The
maybe?
bear builder? Maybe I go there. They have a jackalope.
The jackalope is an online exclusive, and that's very cute.
Are you wanting the... But that says it's stuffed already.
I think everything you order online is stuffed is the thing. They're not going to show the carcass.
There's an axolotl at the front door. I kind of want the longhorn, though.
The longhorn is very cute. They have a capybara right now as well. There are just so many cute ones.
The cuddly cow.
Hold up!
Paulette.
Pochaco from Sanrio.
Yeah,
that
is so cute.
Guys, catch us going to choose a new furry friend at Build-A-Bear very soon. Okay, that Stitch is a little scary.
No, the Stitch is not cute. Why is his teeth so yellow?
He looks like he's gonna bite me.
Yeah, he does look like he's gonna attack, honestly.
So the spring green frog is $26. They drive a hard bargain, but I'm in.
We could always just say, hey, it's my birthday, I'm 2.
That is something that I've heard, and have not got to see firsthand,
So
but apparently if you bring in your kid on their birthday,
Yeah.
whatever age they are is the price they pay for their bear. And I
Yeah.
think that is such a sweet thing to offer.
I was on Reddit, and apparently it's just like an absolute nightmare for employees because they don't have to like verify it at all, and like the people are demanding, and it's only like a set bear that they get for that
makes
price.
sense. I was
And-
imagining they only had like 1 or 2 options.
Yeah, and so people get mad and try to.
They're
cause a
like,
fit.
I want the limited edition
Yeah.
Gengar. Why am I not getting this Collect-A-Bear for $3? Yeah.
Okay.
Because then we wouldn't.
I
make
fear
any
you
money.
may need this one.
There's a hamster.
I fear you may need that one.
Y'all, me and Maddie were talking about Chapel Roan's interview on Call Her Daddy, which I don't listen to that podcast too often, but
Neither do I. Only when it's
listen-
like someone I want to hear their interview.
Yeah, and I was like, I have to hear Chapel Roan's. It was really great. And I was just laughing. I was like, wait, did Chapel just describe me as her dream girl? She's the thing with like, has had a hamster, would own one again.
Literally, yeah,
Completely
Megan.
me. I would so get a hamster again. I've talked about it with Cooper, and he's like, absolutely not.
No, literally, because I would not come over if you had a hamster. They smell so bad.
No,
They smell so
they don't
bad.
smell
If they
that bad.
didn't
You clean
smell,
their cage once a week, and that you manage their
it's not
bedding.
enough. They always smell. They always smell.
No.
And it would escape, and your dogs would eat it.
Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out for another episode of The Fuzzy Pod as we got to talk about a company that meant a lot to us growing up. And honestly, as an adult, we're still here for the
We're
Build-A-Bear
still
of
here
it
for
all.
it. Sorry about it.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to leave us a rating and review, and leave us a comment if you also have a Build-A-Bear that is one of your favorites. We'd love to hear about
I'd
it.
love to hear your Build-A-Bear anecdotes.
Yeah, tell us your stories, because a lot of us have so many great memories with Build-A-Bear.
And also go check us out on Patreon at the Fuzzy Pod over there. We have bonus content that's free, and we also release a bonus episode on the first Monday of every month for our paid members. So definitely go check it out. There's something for everybody over there. And with that, and Instagram. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. And with that, we will see you next Fuzzy Friday.
Bye.